All right, congratulations to everyone that finished well and won some prizes. Kind of jealous. I hope you had a great day. My name is Jack. I'm 17 years old and I'm going into grade 12. Grew up with sick kids, and this is my story. My journey began on November 10, 2005, when I was just 6 months old. My mom and dad took me to the ER at SickKids because my eyes were wobbling and spinning and getting worse every day. After an ultrasound on my head showed something, the ER doctor had me admitted. 4 days later, I had an MRI, and my parents were told that I had a low-grade brain tumor called optic pathway glioma. My family was devastated, and no one knew if I'd even make it to my first birthday. Surgery to remove the tumor was not an option, as it was too close to my optic nerve. And if my optic nerve was hit during the surgery, I would lose full sight in that eye. And so I immediately began a treatment protocol, but before that I had a port inserted into my chest. If you don't know what a port is, it's a small titanium and silicone device that is surgically implanted into the chest, usually above the heart, so about here, just under the skin. The chemo then goes in through that, and every time they have to use a needle to do so, which is a pain, but is what it is. During these 14 months, I endured 42 rounds of chemo. I went to the hospital for chemo once a week for 4 weeks and then had 2 weeks off. There were some bumps along the way though. 1 month into chemo, at just 7 months old, I got a serious bacterial infection that was nearly fatal. I had to have emergency surgery to remove my port, and chemo had to be stopped until I was better. I had to spend my first Christmas and New Year's at the hospital while I recovered. After getting over this hurdle, I got a new port and chemo was restarted. Another bump happened in May 2006. I had to spend my first birthday in the hospital because my older brother got chickenpox and I got it from him. Normally it's not a serious issue, but for someone on chemo where their immune system is compromised, it's very serious. On the bright side, the chemo was working though, and I had made it to my first birthday. I finished chemo in January 2007 when I was just 20 months old. The chemo successfully shrunk my tumor, and my healthcare team was very pleased with the results. Unfortunately, the tumor damaged my vision, and I am considered legally blind, but I can read really well, and the print on my page here is about size 28 font, to be exact. So that's what it looks like. The tumor also affected my pituitary gland, and I needed to have growth hormone shots 6 nights a week to help me grow. I started these shots when I was 4 years old, and just recently in July, after 13 years, I can happily say I finished my growth hormone. After finishing chemo in 2007, I was monitored through MRIs every few months. All was well until September 2013, when I was 8 years old. My family was told that a second tumor was growing and I needed to go back on treatment so the tumor wouldn't do more damage to my vision. I started a new 70-week protocol in October 2013. This time, I had to go to the hospital once a week for chemo. This chemo, called vinblastine, was actually invented by my doctor at SickKids, Dr. Buffet, and his team. Sadly, Dr. Buffet retired recently, but he will be missed. I also go to ophthalmology yearly to have my vision checked. Every 4 months, I go to endocrinology to check my growth and hormone levels. My experience as a cancer patient have not only had physical ramifications, but my mental health has been affected as well. I have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety. With support from family, friends, and counselors, I am working through these obstacles best I can. Good job. Thank you. I have grown up at SickKids. It's like a second home to me. The amazing doctors, nurses, radiologists, and countless other staff. They are all superheroes. Thanks to SickKids, I have a bright future ahead. When I turn 18 next May, thanks to the amazing care I've received since I was just an infant, I will be graduating from SickKids to Princess Margaret Hospital just across the street for my adult care. which is a bittersweet thought for me. It means so much to me to be involved in this special event today. I have the privilege of helping to raise awareness for such an important cause by being an ambassador and sharing my story with all of you. I also get to thank you on behalf of my family and all of the other families that need SickKids for the great fundraising you have done for our world-class hospital. You are helping one of Canada's busiest children's hospitals continue to do groundbreaking research and to create partnerships for better care both here and around the world. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for supporting SickKids. Together, we can find better treatments and maybe even a cure for kids like me.